Greetings, citizens of the world. This is Operation Egypt's audio press release number 2, regarding the latest developments in Egypt. September 5th, 2013. We will make a short comparison. Imagine. Why would Obama be ousted by his people? A lot of friends still ask what on earth really happened in Egypt. For their benefit, and anyone else on earth genuinely trying to make heads or tails of us crazy Egyptians, here's what happened in Egypt over the 12 months of Morsi's rule, which led to our current situation, but expressed in American terms, with no exaggerations. Imagine, on June 30, 2012, democratically elected Barack Obama wins the election with 51.7%, takes the oath, and is sworn in as President of the United States. First 5 months of his term go relatively smoothly, where he makes almost no decisions, except for some dubious presidential pardons to dozens of convicted terrorists, including some convicted for their part in the murder of a former US president. Imagine, suddenly, on November 21, 2012, President Obama issues a presidential decree giving himself sweeping powers, to the extent that his future decrees become incontestable in any court. In effect, his decisions henceforth are akin to the Word of God. His laws became a new Bible. Imagine, nationwide protests erupt as a result of this decree, and 1.5 million people organize a sit-in at the White House to peacefully request he rescind it. Some of Obama's Democratic Party supporters attack the peaceful sit-in outside the White House with guns, and shoot 5 peaceful protesters dead. A few weeks later, President Obama dissolves the US Supreme Court, and labels them all traitors to America. Imagine, 1 short week later, he fires the United States District Attorney, and personally appoints a Democrat to replace him. A month later, he annuls the US Constitution, and forms a constitutional committee to draft a new constitution. Committee includes no Republicans or independents, no Muslims or Jews, and only a handful of women, Democrats, and is composed primarily of Democrats and religious preachers. In a referendum not supervised by any judicial branch, this constitution narrowly wins, and President Obama ratifies it the very next morning, despite it having only gotten the approval of 18% of all Americans. Imagine, within a month he invites top global terrorists, known jihadists and Al-Qaeda members from all over the world, to a rally in Yankee Stadium, where he cuts ties with and declares war on Canada. They also declare all the opposition and minorities as apostates and impure, with large applause and presidential consent. Throughout this whole time, the US economy is sinking, the stock market collapsing, foreign investment has all but stopped, tourism has died, and electricity, fuel, and water shortages are daily occurrence. Unemployment has almost doubled, and the US dollar has lost 20% of its value globally. Oh, and also imagine President Obama outlines his new plans to lease the entire Silicon Valley area to China for 50 years, with full administrative control. Democratically elected President Barack Obama has done all the above in his first year in office. Ultimately, on June 30, 2013, 110 million Americans take to the streets in 50 states demanding, for 4 straight days, that democratically elected Obama leave immediately, and not continue his remaining 3 years, to be done democratically by early elections. Obama refused, and went to say over my dead body, and called on his supporters to go protect my legitimacy. And they already started mobilizing. Not showing signs of peacefulness, their pardoned terrorist leaders start speaking about killing all Muslims and Jews, and non-believers in God, and even his fellow Christians, who oppose the rule of the elected Obama. Already their threats have started to show in action. The rest of the story is left for you to imagine. Would the people of the United States of America allow Obama to remain in office after all of this, just because he entered it with a box? Yes, the people of the United States of America do have a democratic method to impeach Obama when he goes crazy. However, did the people of Egypt have any similar tool in June 2013 that they haven't used it? We don't necessarily have to trust the military council in order to support the new roadmap, as long as the revolution continues. One last note. Democrats, Republicans, or whatever. We know they are all the same shit. But this is another story.